Christmas part 2.
Yes, it's the 7th of December. Lottie's had enough. She wants to go down.
Milo's along for the ride.
Oh, and we're very excited because we are just coming into the second week of Advent.
Woo! So today we thought we would talk about what we love about Christmas.
Yes. What do I love about Christmas? I love everything about Christmas. I really do. This could be a long conversation. Brace yourself. But we thought we'd just pick out our favourite things. And funnily enough, Advent itself is definitely one of my favourite things. And we were talking earlier, weren't we? Sorry. And I was saying that for me, so often in life, not just with Christmas, although Christmas is a really good example, it's the journey can be even more exciting than the sort of arrival and the destination. It's that anticipation. Even going on holiday, you know, sometimes it's the dreaming about it, imagining yourself there, buying the new dress, packing and buying something nice to wear in the evening or whatever. Is even more fun because once you get there, it's already starting to finish. Whereas on the journey, it's all ahead
of you.
Yeah.
I would slightly not disagree, but I would say it is as exciting.
Nice.
For me, I wouldn't say it's more exciting.
Okay, interesting.
I do enjoy Christmas and holidays, but I would say it's I would say 50-50.
Yeah.
Definitely Christmas. I always say to people, the build-up is equal to Christmas because Christmas Day is one day.
Exactly.
And you look forward to it for so long.
Yeah.
And then it just goes in a blink, doesn't
True.
it? So we can extend that for a whole month.
It is. You're quite right, and I 100% agree with you. But actually, in my head, Christmas for me, and this is interesting in itself, it is that day. Absolutely, it is. But it's that whole period of time before New Year's Eve as well, and I kind of love that whole week out.
Yeah.
Time out, kind of. Time takes on a new feeling, and this sort of sense you've got that this is calm and quiet. And of course, not everyone celebrates Christmas, and sometimes people celebrate it as holidays because they're not necessarily has any religious significance. So you shouldn't be presumptuous. But quite often in where we are in England, there is that sort of quiet period between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, and I kind of like that feeling that there's a lot of other people experiencing that as well.
Same time,
the phone isn't going to ring as much as it normally does. And, you know, my absolute favourite thing to do during that sort of period of calm and quiet is to buy my seeds. So my idea of absolute heaven is a big pile of seed catalogues and a nice thick pair of socks on my feet and a roaring fire, and I'm just
hopefully snowing outside.
Oh yes, I might just burst with excitement. But just sort of looking through like old favourites, and I'm growing things that are of familiar friends that I've grown many times before. But then ordering some new things, or ordering things that have failed on previous years that haven't gone well. So I'm going to give them another go. And for me, that's one of the things I love about gardening. And I know we're talking about Christmas. But gardening is such a cyclical, seasonal sort of discipline that I really associate it with periods of time like Christmas. And so for me, that's always the seed ordering time. And although in a way, as this winter is sort of descending, December's kicked in and we're looking to January, in a way, it's quite sad because lots of things stop growing and
it gets a bit colder.
It gets cold and plants go to sleep. But actually, it's in that very ending that the new beginning is starting. And for me, the pivot of that is Christmas, actually. That's when I really start thinking, right, let's get planning for the new growing season.
Maybe that has also something to do with like the new year and New Year's resolutions. It's like
maybe good point.
You know, things being born, it's getting ready. And,
love that. That probably does. You're absolutely right. So one of the things I love about Christmas is Advent.
Me too.
And this year, you very kindly allowed me to sort of extend it even more because you let me make some Advent calendars.
No, well, I did not let you. I was very, very grateful
you
to
gave me
have them.
Thank you. You gave me the topics and the themes and everything, which was great. So I've kept some Advent calendars from previous years, so things that maybe had cosmetics in or just cardboard ones with little drawers and things, and I always keep those. And so I sort of refilled them. And what would you call it? Would you call it ephemera? So scrapbooking, journaling. So it's things like, is it washi tape? Or,
yes.
Yes. So I always want to say washi tape.
Well, it's spelt like that.
Oh, is it? That's probably why. Yeah.
I believe, and as dyslexic as you,
Yeah.
so I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think it's Wassi.
Okay.
So it's spelt Wassi.
So that
but
lovely
it's-
Japanese
I was going
tape.
to say Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing. I better not say too much more because I don't want to give the game away because you've still got that.
No, that's true.
But you've got a crystals one, haven't
Yes,
you,
I
as
do,
well?
which is
And,
lovely.
yeah, so I started preparing those a couple of months ahead. So I've had the
Oh, the Advent to Advent.
yeah, exactly. It's been wonderful. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm very blessed. It's
Oh.
having my own personalised Advent calendar.
honestly, it makes me so.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry about that. The light just went off, so we're back in the room, and you can see us, which
You
is
can.
always an advantage.
So we're talking about Advent.
Yes, so I think that's everything really that I love about Advent. And there's lots of other things that I like about Christmas. Decorations. So our lovely tree, which
Beautiful wreaths.
and we
as well.
yes, love making a wreath. And you kindly inspired me with the theme. So this
Oh.
one's kind of frosty pastels. And my jumper matches rather nicely
Yeah,
with
it
the tree.
does, definitely.
I think that's always important. And we've got more trees in future episodes because we're a bit greedy. Well, not we.
Not greedy.
I am greedy with my Christmas tree. So
excited.
and enjoying them.
Rephrase that.
Yeah. So we've got a nice green and red one, haven't we? Which we'll
Classic. We thought we would save
Yeah.
for the last episode before Christmas.
Yeah. So Christmas, yeah, I love bringing foliage into the house. We can use
Mm.
ivy and mistletoe, of course, over the door.
Classic.
Classic. Make garlands, and so I love that decorating. That's something I really enjoy, and that to me links to something else that I love about Christmas, which is nostalgia.
Traditions, I guess, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it happens every year, so it kind of is a period of reflecting.
Yeah. So, and I think also just the fact that some of the decorations are I've had them for so long. So there's decorations that I've got in my box which are way older than you. I've had even longer than I've had you, and had that sounds very possessive, doesn't
No,
it?
no, it doesn't.
Had
No, it
in my
doesn't.
life longer than you, and yeah, I just love getting them out, and when I'm sort of placing them around the house, it just reminds you of all the other years when you've done the same thing, and when you bought them, and you know, in a fancy shop in London or whatever it was, or things you've made that didn't cost anything at all. So to me, I think nostalgia, as you say, tradition is a great way. Yeah.
What do I love about Christmas? I love getting into the festive spirit. I love the shopping. Christmas shopping's really fun. Just going into the mall and having all the lights up.
Yeah.
And they have like a big old beautiful Christmas tree like made out of lights. And it's the energy is
Yeah.
excitement. I mean, not everyone is into Christmas, but you know, the majority of people are in this country. And there's just an excitement in the air, and yeah.
So yeah, and just like we were saying, there's that lull period, and you feel a kind of collective because other people are in the lull between Christmas and New Year. I think it's the same about excitement and that sort of run up to Christmas, particularly children.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's lots of little ones getting really excited. You know, and it reminds me again, coming back to nostalgia of when you were like, because you know, we all know Santa's completely, definitely on the case, and working really hard. And I remember, you know, when you were in that place of just getting so excited, and you kind of vicariously, as an adult, share that excitement, and it reminds you of your own childhood. So
Yeah.
I think that for me is part of it.
I've never thought of how nostalgic Christmas is actually. I guess also because I am in the, not like child, but like younger years. I think one day when I'm, you know, a mum and then I have my children, I think I will for that nostalgia. But I think I'm a bit on the young side for nostalgia.
Yeah.
There's not
Yeah.
much to
Be nostalgic about.
reminisce over yet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
definitely.
There is and there isn't. So I've called
Oh no,
on
there
your
definitely
behalf.
is. But it's,
Yeah.
for me, I never think about it because it's less of a
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there is nostalgia,
Yeah.
but a lot less, which makes sense
Yeah.
because there's not that many years. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's definitely a generation gap thing.
yeah.
That's what we're talking about, is we have these different perspectives. Absolutely. However, I would just say it was very pleasing for me. You were, I think, was it a couple of days ago, looking at what we call Grandad's Diaries,
Yeah.
which my father sadly passed away, but what I used to do, and your granddad, what I used to do every year was make a diary for him, which was one of those photo journals, and it was a great discipline for me to actually get a year's worth of photos out of the computer. And it's wonderful having digital images, but quite often
You
they
can
just
get lost,
and they
can't
just
it?
stay there, don't they?
Yeah, which is really nice because you can literally pick a year, like
Yeah.
2012, and you can just have this
Yeah.
physical thing, which is really
It's a
nice.
really, I'm
yeah.
really glad I did that for quite
I
a few
am too,
years.
yeah.
But it was lovely, even just a couple of days ago, because you dragged some of them out from 10 years ago, didn't you? And just seeing you looking at the images of yourself, even 10 years ago, you know, whether it's Christmas or
That's
whatever.
true. You
So-
can definitely.
So there is that bit of nostalgia still already, I think.
Oh no,
perhaps.
definitely.
Sorry
But
to speak on your
no,
behalf.
No, I agree, and I don't. I absolutely agree. There is nostalgia, but I don't even think about it with Christmas for me, just because
Yeah.
it's such a small part. I definitely
Yeah.
think there is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I can only remember the last 9 years of my life.
Well,
So
that's a long time.
But that's only 9 Christmases, which isn't that. I mean, obviously I've had more than that, but I can only remember the last
Yeah.
9. So
But
it's
some
less
of-
of a thing. for
That's
me.
true. But some of the things you probably don't remember have become kind of family folklore.
yeah.
Because we talk about it so much. And an example I'll give you of that was...
Oh, I know.
Yeah, exactly. And you
know
probably
why.
don't remember that. But it's almost a
What's
memory.
that, Teddy Bear on the Swing? Oh no, I do remember that. I do remember
Oh,
that.
that's amazing. 'Cause
I remember Where Is Sleeping. I
you were
remember
probably
the-
5, if
No, I
that.
don't remember. I don't remember before 5. 5 is when I just about remember.
Yeah,
my
I think
memories,
that's
which is
really normal.
Yeah.
So the story was, which we'll share, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
So we had Granny and Auntie Philly
Yes.
staying over for Christmas Eve, and again for them sharing with that all excitement of children. Christmas
Yeah.
Eve was wonderful, and Auntie Philly was getting impatient for you to open the presents. So she came to wake you up. Most little ones, of course, are
They're
desperate.
really
They've
excited.
been up
It's
since
Christmas.
5 o'clock. And you were still not awake. We were all like, oh, we want to open the presents. So she very kindly knocked on the door and woke you up for Christmas present opening. And you were super grumpy in a very sweet, lovely way.
I remember being grumpy. too.
Because she woke you up, she said, Auntie Philly, I was having a lovely dream about a teddy bear on a swing.
It was. That's exactly what I said. I remember saying that. I remember the dream. It was the swing from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh.
Do you remember right at the end? There's
Yes.
this beautiful. You do.
I do.
This beautiful big white.
The
swing.
lady's wearing a long white dress,
Yeah,
is she?
I think
Yes,
so. Yeah.
And has the swing got like flowers on it or
Yeah,
ribbons or something?
Yeah, something. And it was it Big Ted? I had this teddy bear.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I was about 5 then, and it was about this big white teddy bear, which I think I've had almost since I was born, pretty much. And it was Big Ted on the swing, and I was pushing him. I remember, I could see the dream in my head, and it was just such a lovely dream. And I just remember, I remember being really grumpy, like, you just disturbed my dream.
And ironically, because of that, we're still talking about
Yes,
it, sort of,
exactly.
12 years later. So yes, nostalgia, I completely agree, is entirely different at your stage
Yeah,
of life.
I mean, I
than it is
definitely
at
have
mine.
it, but there's
Yeah.
just less
Yeah.
to reflect on.
I think it's maybe at your stage of the life, you've got the most of your life in front of you.
Exactly, because you've only
Isn't it?
got 10 years you can remember.
Yeah.
So,
Whereas, I try not to live too much in the past because I
Yeah.
think maybe for older people that's not particularly healthy.
I don't think
maybe.
it's healthy for anyone to live too much. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, as we talk about, I think that could be a good topic.
Yeah.
Being in the present moment. We like.
Oh,
to
I
talk
love that
about
as a topic.
don't we?
Yeah. I think that's a
Something I'm
wonderful
working
topic.
on recently is
Oh,
being in
good.
the present. Actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And by present, we don't mean Christmas
No,
present.
being in the present.
Being in the present with your present.
Well, and I probably should save this for the next episode, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
I've heard there was this sort of famous TikTok sound going around for a while, where it was saying, I don't remember the exact words, but it's something like, today, no, I do remember, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today's a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Nice, isn't it?
That's really lovely,
Yeah,
darling.
that resonates with me.
Yeah, it resonates with me as well. So that's
Yeah.
great. So, what do we love about Christmas? So, nostalgia,
Nostalgia.
we're Advent. So
I just like the Christmas vibe, which I think you would probably say the Christmas spirit.
I would, yeah.
Just like I said, just something about the Christmas lights in your house, the lovely
Yes.
Christmas trees, or just walking down, walking down the street and just seeing all the Christmas lights and just the Christmas trees And I don't know, there's just something about that atmosphere which I definitely think is a bit of the shared collective excitement.
I agree.
But also, I don't know, there's
And
something
shops.
simple. Something simple about just the decorations which just really get me excited.
Christmas lights are very precious, aren't they? And I think it's really clever in a way. I was thinking this morning as I was putting our tree lights on, that we sort of have that tradition. Because one thing in England where we live is the clocks have just gone, haven't they? Gone back. Is it right? Spring forward, fall back.
No idea.
Yes, spring forward, fall back. That's how I remember it. So they've just gone back, which means we've kind of lost an hour of daylight in the evenings. Which, in a way, I don't mind. I mean, as a gardener, I want all the light I can get.
Yeah.
Have it in the morning. It doesn't actually affect the sun, does it? So it doesn't really.
No.
It's just what we call it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, although the nights are drawing in and they're getting darker, it does make me feel Christmassy.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of really clever, therefore, we've got this tradition with lights, because it kind of
true.
makes a virtue out of a problem, doesn't it?
That's really true. It's like, well, you've got this darkness,
Yeah.
so let's make these little lights so you can
To
see them
appreciate
more.
it.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
also reminds me of one of my favourite quotes ever, which is literally, stars can't shine without the darkness.
Yay! There
Which is
you go.
literally that.
It
So there
is.
you go.
It is. I love that saying. That's
It's just very
beautiful.
positive, just saying, you know, stars can't shine without the darkness, so when you're going through a slightly experience, it makes the good experiences even more, doesn't
Well,
it?
I think often periods of growth.
That's true, are quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then from that...
Yeah. It's like learning like with my students or my own experience of learning. Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Same
not
as skating,
easy.
I relate everything
Yeah,
to skating. But
yeah, well, that's
learning,
learning.
you fall over and you get things wrong. And, but you can't get it right unless you get it wrong, can you?
That's it. We learn by making mistakes. And so we have to give ourselves permission. That's another good topic, isn't it? So the other thing I would have to say I love about Christmas is the food. I'm so
Christmas
materialistic.
mash.
Oh yes, I love. Although this year I think we're going to have a vegan Christmas.
Ah.
So no disrespect to anyone who isn't, because I've definitely had my years of turkeys and all the rest of it, and chicken. And
Milo says he didn't sign up for that. He loves Christmas chicken.
He does love Christmas chicken. It's very selfish.
He'll have his own tiny chicken.
Yeah.
It'll be a chip, roasted
I'll buy him a
chip.
pork pie
Oh.
for Christmas. But yeah, it's only because I'm on the alkaline diet. So if we do it, Dad's vegetarian anyway, and I'm vegetarian, so it's sort of and quite often we normally have more extended family, but it's just us this year.
Oh, that's true.
So it feels very wasteful as well, getting anything sort of
wasteful,
but if it doesn't get eaten. So I'm looking forward to that challenge. But apart from that, it's all what I love about Christmas lunch is all the fiddly bits that go with it. So the bread sauce and the cranberry sauce and the
toppings.
And again, I think a bit of that's tradition as well, because you do it every year. So for me, a really lovely part of Christmas is just sitting down to that meal, and the table is laden with food, and you've got your family around you, and there's that moment. I've probably had a glass of something fizzy while I'm cooking in the morning. Hopefully I've survived and burnt the house down. And that's just a very special moment for me. So I think about that every year. I can remember year on year doing that. So yes, the food, I'm afraid, which is rather gluttonous of me. But that's definitely something that I love about Christmas.
I would say as a child or a teen or whatever, the presents.
Yay!
Which I know is last week's topic, but I don't know. That's my nostalgia is... When I think about Christmas, I think about two things. I think about the very few times we've had snow, which is about 3.
I think we looked up, there was a depressing statistic that in England, or the UK maybe, we get a white Christmas, was it 6% of the 6% of years will have a white Christmas? It was very low anyway.
Shocking. Yeah. I mean, we got like that much snow last year.
Did we?
Did
we? Yeah.
For about 2 days.
Yeah, I've forgotten that.
But that doesn't count as a white Christmas.
No.
I think it needs to be proper snow. But no, me looking back on my years as a young child, I remember just all the presents, and I remember sledging.
Yes.
But no, nothing like waking up on Christmas morning, unless you've had a dream about a teddy bear on a swing. But if you haven't, then waking up and just having this lovely pile of presents, and it's just like, oh my god, what is in there? And just ripping them open, and that is very exciting. So I remember that.
The magic of it all appearing is amazing.
And what Santa brought me, and definitely.
Oh, well, I'm so happy you enjoyed that, because as a parent with Santa's, it's lovely. Santa and parents work together, clearly. It's a wonderful thing to hear that you've enjoyed that. Absolutely.
Very fond memories.
And I think I'm right in saying that you might have made me a beautiful mug.
I have indeed, which, you have seen before I glazed fired it. So you have seen it a little bit, but you haven't seen it all shiny.
Well, the shape of it was beautiful, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing that.
I'm very much looking forward to
you've
showing you.
Got one
and
here
I do indeed. This is fresh out the kiln this morning.
Is it still warm?
No, it's not actually. But it could be. And I just wanted to thank you. I just wanted to show the guys, because we talked about my ceramics a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really pleased with this one. Little snowman. I think it's pretty cool.
I love the colour red. Reds are quite
isn't it?
difficult to get right in my experience. They can easily be a bit dark and dull, but that's a really cheerful
I would
red.
say cherry red.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
It's even a bit more.
Or tomato red.
A
maybe.
bit, it's even a bit brighter than a blood red.
Yeah. It's sort of almost verging on orange in a way. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Milo says no.
No, he's the orange master. So
Amazing.
yes, so you have your own one of these on the way.
Amazing.
And I've made one for Granny and Auntie Philly. So.
Fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful.
Nice.
Yay.
So there you go. That's also definitely a part of Christmas. Is gift giving and receiving. It's that exchange.
Yes.
I would say.
Wonderful.
So yes, the other thing I obviously like about Christmas is the ice skating.
Yay!
Although what is interesting is because I started skating almost a year ago, which is crazy to believe because it feels like it's only been 2 minutes. But I started skating in January last year, so I thought I'm gonna be really good by Christmas, and that was kind of like my motivation is I'm gonna be like amazing. But the thing is, because I do it so often, which I'm really lucky that I'm able to do, is that it doesn't really feel special, and I don't mean that in a negative way because it's still ice skating. I bloody love ice skating, but like it doesn't feel like Christmassy anymore to me, which is kind of interesting. However, I am gonna go with my friend on an outside rink, which is Christmassy. So I think once I've done that, I think it will feel a bit different.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to go on an outside rink. You know, it's slightly in the cold, get all nice and wrapped up with all the twinkly lights, and I think that'll be really fun.
I think that whole idea of doing something a lot that you love, and maybe it makes it less special, is an interesting one. I definitely...
Special's the wrong word.
Yeah.
It makes it less special for Christmas.
Yeah.
Skating for me isn't a Christmas thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful... all the time.
But it hasn't.
Do you know what I mean?
You still have that passion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
the passion
yeah.
has not gone at all.
Yeah.
It's just, so that was wrong choice of wording.
No,
it's just less Christmassy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I think a lot of people, that's, think about Christmas and, I don't know, think if you were designing like a Christmas card.
You'd have skaters on there.
It's often on there, isn't it? Yeah. But I think going outside, I haven't done it yet, but I think when I do my outside skating, I think that will feel different. Which makes sense because I'm always skating in the same rink. All year round. Yeah. So when I go to a different one, which is literally 1 minute away.
But it's outside.
But it's outside.
Yeah.
Literally 1 minute away.
Yeah.
Like, actually, like 30 seconds away. So
it's Cribs Causeway.
Cribs Causeway. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to go with my skating friend and we're going to do lots of spins and jumps because the person doing the Zamboni, the little redo the ice little car type thing, I know him, so he's going to let us do jumps and spins because he works there, which is very kind of him because he's not really allowed to, but we're going to make sure there's not too many people there.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. but no one, the public skaters don't go in the middle anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
amazing.
I'm very much looking forward to going outside skating.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you have that excitement for it all year round.
Absolutely.
And that's me projecting onto you a little bit because I know it's a common concern with gardeners, people training into being professional gardeners, garden designers, when usually they come from a sort of background of being really keen amateurs. That's where we all have to start, isn't it?
Everyone.
We usually have an interest in something before we train into it. And definitely I can relate to this. I hear students saying it a lot. There's almost a worry that this thing that you love so much, that's your kind of safety valve from life.
Literally your safe space.
That's your safe space and your most sort of precious activity. There is a worry that by doing it for a living, being paid to do it and doing it every day, that it stops being that's
fun,
wonderful thing. Yes, which in my experience, not at all either. So it's interesting to hear you saying that about the ice skating.
It's just different. It's absolutely still as wonderful and lovely, and I still love it. It's just less Christmassy, and the only thing is, from like a figure skater, like a person who's all year round, from a figure skater's perspective, we actually slightly don't like skating at Christmas, because then all the there's no ice left. Everyone's taking up the ice. It's like, no, this is what we do. Go away.
Fair weather skaters.
A little bit, yeah. So that's why I've started doing patch now. So I get up at 6:30 on a Sunday, so I can go skating, which is worth it for me. So I miss all the public skaters. So, but anyway,
well, we've got a dream, haven't we? One year, because I've always wanted to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Because I had a distant relative from Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Auntie, well, it was Uncle Fred, and gosh, I've forgotten her name. That's terrible. But Uncle Fred's wife.
I didn't even know Uncle Fred.
Auntie Leah. Auntie Leah.
I never know this people. I'm sorry.
Well, they were my mother's father's brother and his wife, so it's all very distant.
I remember good that.
Anyway, so he married a Canadian lady called Auntie Leah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and she was amazing and lovely, and died when I was quite little. So, it was her that talked to me about taking maple syrup and pouring it into snow.
Yes, I know. I've heard of that. There's a name for that. I've heard that.
Icicle pops or something. I can't remember what she called it.
No, that's a very Canadian thing.
Yeah, and she talked to me about making snow angels when you light. We've done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that came from Auntie Leah. So I'm not Canadian at all, because she just sort of married into our family, but. I just fell in love with Canada as a child, hearing her talk about it. So I'd love to go back. And maybe one year we can go back when it's nice and frozen, and you could go. I might be a bit terrified, but I'm sure they've got places there.
Because I'm sure there's going to be ice where it's like that, and if there's one other person there, I'll know that it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'd love to stay in like a hotel or like a lodge.
Yeah.
I've seen some on Instagram where it's like a little lodge, and then you have your own patch.
Yeah.
You have like
amazing.
your own 4 meters of ice outside your little lodge, and then I think there's probably a big lake somewhere else. But you can just step outside, walk 1 meter, and then you've got your own one. It's like, oh my god! I could just go on it for hours and hours.
Amazing. Because I must admit, I've been surprised in the past when we've gone on holiday for Christmas. Because for somebody who's like completely obsessed by Christmas, and for a long time I've been like that, because obviously I loved it as a child, and I was also fortunate enough to be a buyer for Marks and Spencer's, buying Christmas stuff. Can you imagine? For someone who's a Christmaholic, I actually had a job where I was paid to fly to New York and buy samples of Christmas stuff to bring back and be inspired by when we were developing products.
Well, that's the business,
and that's the way retail works. And that was absolute heaven. To actually be on Fifth Avenue and see these amazing Christmas trees and everything. So that was great. And so travelling at Christmas is something I've done professionally. But I was kind of surprised myself when we sort of had the idea of going on holiday at Christmas to a hot country, which seems an odd thing to do. But we really loved it, didn't we?
I know, and it's. I was thinking about that as well, because I obviously love Christmas so much too, and you would think that would, it would not feel Christmassy and it would take away, but it doesn't at all.
No, it's just different.
It is different, but it is quite nice having everyone in the UK, all your friends, a bit chilly, and then you're
dropping onto Instagram, sort of paddling in the blue water.
Exactly,
so And do you remember? I think the first time we went somewhere hot for Christmas, Santa came on a jet ski.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then he gave everyone presents.
Yeah, that was really
cool.
sweet.
I got something. I got like a little tiny dolphin toy.
You did.
I've still got it.
I remember you getting that. And some of the grown-ups were trying to kneel down.
Yeah, I remember.
not me.
Some of them, I
Honestly,
don't know
not me. But equally, I love the idea of going somewhere really cold, like Canada.
Yeah, for a change.
For a
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
different
And
experience.
like proper snow.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So 1 year we'll do that, I promise. We'll go somewhere really cold and we'll snuggle up and
I just love log cabins. They sound really fun as well.
They do. As long as they're warm.
As long as they're warm, yeah.
Yeah, I do quite like a bit of luxury, I'm afraid. But I bet you can have them with amazing log fires and that kind of glamour camping. You can sort of do that, can't you? So we'll do that.
Yes.
Or we could just build a log cabin in the garden and do it ourselves, maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing that comes to mind about Christmas is Secret Santa.
Oh,
I
yes.
remember Secret Santa at school was always quite fun. Just, putting everyone's names in a hat and being like, oh man, I didn't want that person, then you trade with someone else. Which is quite
Absolutely.
fun. I think Secret Santa's quite nice. I think that sort of captures the magic of Christmas, isn't it? Because sometimes like I did it 1 year for my tutor group, and you tend to talk about the same 4 people, and actually some people you barely even talk to. You just sort of say hi. And there's something quite Christmassy and lovely about buying a present for someone you barely even talk to. Yeah. Because it's just that kind sort of giving to someone
makes you get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
that's
I don't know.
great.
Secret Santa's always been quite fun.
Yeah, I've done that in offices in the past.
Yeah.
When I've worked in offices. And that can be funny. Yeah, a lot of trading went on.
Yeah.
I've got no idea what to get for this person. But I agree, that is, and also not being able to spend a huge amount of money.
Yeah, being
so having to be
creative about
resourceful
it.
with what you do with your money. That's fun.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, we've still got 3 weeks to look forward to Christmas, which is wonderful, and I feel I've really got even more in the Christmas.
Me too.
I might have to go. Should we watch a film? We could.
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Would you say? I think I can guess your favourite Christmas film.
Oh.
I think we talked about this. I would say for you, The Holiday, but I think you said it was something else, didn't you?
I like The Holiday. I do like The Holiday. Very bizarrely.
Oh, Love Actually.
I like Love Actually. Not that I watch too many films or anything.
No.
I do like both of those. And this is a weird one. If asked what is your favourite Christmas film, the one I like the most, that I associate with Christmas the most, isn't. It's not even about Christmas.
Which is interesting because you told me that the other day, and I was really confused because I'm like, that has nothing to do with Christmas.
It's just growing up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still the case, because we have satellites and we have Netflix and
Amazon Prime Music.
But back in, when I was your age, and this is a good generation gap thing, there were literally 2 channels of television. So it was BBC One, BBC Two, then there was ITV, so 3 channels, don't go crazy.
Spoiling you there.
And then the imaginatively named Channel 4 came along. But that was it. So when I was sort of going to school and growing up, you absolutely knew everyone had watched the same thing as you. It really had. It was a very different
thing. Which I guess there still is now with trends. Everyone's seen the trend.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. But that is a big difference in my life from being your age to being my age. And for too many years, many people would say, of sort of that period growing up, etc., it was always the sound of blooming music on Christmas Day.
Why?
I don't know, it's just a tradition. And I think I'm right in saying, and I'm not sure about this, but I think I'm right in saying, a sort of traditional Christmas film in the States is Die Hard, I think.
Which is
it Die Hard? It's like I think I'm right in saying there's some film that's got again nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just traditionally shown at Christmas time. And so it has that sort of festive association. So,
which I understand, that's the nostalgia.
It is the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But if I was asked what's your favourite Christmas themed film, I might go Elf, actually.
Your favourite?
Yeah, I might do.
I'd say Home Alone.
Yeah, I love Home Alone
and
as well.
Elf are my 2 favourites.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, it would be Home Alone.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I do like Elf though.
And you like the second one even more than the first one, or is that not the case anymore?
It definitely was. I think about about the same now.
Okay,
Maybe a little
interesting.
bit. I do like the second one because they're in New York. And
Yes.
like the toy store's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I do like the second one a little bit more. When I was younger, I liked the second one a lot more. But
Yeah.
the classic one is, now looking back, it is quite good.
Is it-
And it's got Moira in it, and we love Schitt's Creek.
We
so
love
it's,
Schitt's Creek.
it's fun to see her
Yeah.
not talking in a weird accent.
yeah, but still looking like her gorgeous
her eyes
self.
are the same. Which
Yeah,
is really interesting.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And when I was going shopping in New York for a living, can't drop that one in often enough.
So cool though.
It was cool, and there is an amazing toy store in New York called FAO Schwartz.
Yes, which was very inspired by
And I used to go in there every year when I went to New York, and it's amazing. It's a bit like Hamleys, really, in London. But how fabulous just to be in a whole shop dedicated to that sort of toys and
in the Christmas spirit of it, the
very
festivities.
special.
And,
yeah. Well, let's do that one year as well.
Yeah,
I
I'd
hope
love
she goes
to.
New York and
I also bring it back to skating. I would love to skate at Rockefeller Center.
Yes.
I think that would be really
and the
fun.
tree there is beautiful as well. So
You'd have to go really early though.
yeah, or
I
maybe we
wouldn't
could
wanna
combine that with a trip to Canada. Something.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Milo says he wants to come though.
Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to, Milo. We might have to
Ooh.
have someone come and house sit for us, I think. Yeah.
He wouldn't like
Brilliant.
travelling.
Well, I am feeling extremely festive.
Me too.
I think I'm going to go and I've still got a few presents to wrap. I've
Oh,
really done
wow.
all- yeah, I've had a
Amazing.
few last minute ones
Oh.
which I suddenly thought I needed to get and wrap up. So I might go and do that now while I'm in the Christmas mood. And we'll talk next week. Where should we do our talk next week?
We were thinking the pool house,
Yeah.
so we can feature my tree.
Yes, sounds good.
And we did have a topic in mind, but we're going to save that for two reasons. One, because I can't remember it, and two, because it's a surprise.
And also, we're up for suggestions.
Yes,
So if anybody wants to,
Definitely.
they can catch us on Instagram.
definitely.
And
But
they
thank
can-
you for reminding. Yes,
Oh.
if you would want to comment anything, we would definitely be interested.
Yeah,
in
we'd
this.
love some suggestions. So yeah, until next week, we should
Milo
say
says
Happy
Bye,
Christmas!
Bye. High five!
Bye.
Yay!